It's your boy Superman 2000 coming from the fight chair. Long day today. Went to the. Yeah, I forgot where I even went. That's how long it was. So I came back in the house, was relaxing, checked out ES Pukin, CBS Sports, aka Carry Bad Sucking News. Blah. But my main man, Ariel Awani, pound for pound, the best MMA reporter ever in the business. I checked his Twitter feed, and bam, there it was. Conor McGregor is gonna be stripped of the 145 belt, and Anthony Pettis and Max Holloway they'll fight for the interim title. Now isn't that something? Had Daniel Cormier not been injured and being forced to pull from UFC 206, and by the way, Rumble is gonna also be pulled from the card. It didn't have to pull Rumble Johnson versus Daniel Cormier from the card, and then move Max Holloway and Anthony Pettis up, and then up the stake to make it a title fight. It didn't have to do that. There's no way on earth Conor McGregor would have been stripped of the belt. Now, this is what happens when you're dealing with the UFC. It's a double-edged sword. You can do one thing one way, and they'll play ball. But when it's convenient and they don't have a choice but to stab you in the back or to do something, they'll just do it anyway. Because initially I heard Conor McGregor was going to be getting the opportunity to go back down to 145 to defend the belt. And if he didn't defend the belt, then he would be stripped. He'd be given the opportunity to make the decision to defend the belt. In this case, that didn't happen. He was just stripped of the belt straight outright, without even the opportunity to defend the belt or make a decision about whether or not he wanted to defend the belt, solely on the basis of it being more convenient for the UFC because Daniel Cormier got injured. If DC never got injured, he wouldn't have been stripped of the belt. You see how this work? This type of craziness that's going on in the UFC, it's disorganized. So it's almost like, hey, we do whatever, whenever. Hang on one second, let me put this TV on mute. I can't find a button. But it's like, hey, we do whatever, whenever we want. And you just gotta deal with it. So, what's gonna happen next? It's kind of gonna be stripped of the 155 division belt, of the 150 division belt, and he just won from Eddie Alvarez, and then Eddie Alvarez and Rafael dos Anjos are gonna fight to sit for an interim belt too. So it's kind of like, yeah, I know that they got cable dollars to make. I've always been calling for them to either strip him of the belt or for him to defend the belt. But this situation is kind of weird where just because somebody's injured, you strip somebody of the belt without giving the opportunity to defend the belt. I won't lie to you. I want to see Conor fight at 145. I want to see him fight Aldo. But this is just like, okay, someone got injured. We need to make the card more interesting. We're just gonna strip you of the belt. Period. That's kind of weird. Also, I'm not digging that, but like I said before in previous videos, that the division was gonna be choked up, and I guess they don't want the division choked up, so they go ahead and they do it now. If they had made this decision earlier, they didn't have to do it later. You see, it's just like one of those things where they say, hey, you fix the problem now when it's not painful, but the longer you wait, the more painful it's gonna be. Well, now it's more painful because you're gonna piss Conor McGregor off by stripping him of that belt without giving him a chance to defend it, or just saying, hey, I'm giving you a chance to defend it. You didn't defend it, so now I have to take it. Just like, it's a basic respect issue, but because so that's just how I feel about the whole thing. When it's convenient for the UFC to do something, they do it, and when it's not convenient, then they don't do it. So now they're making a different move. So I'm just confused about this belt situation. It's almost like the way they're going and how they're treating the sport. It's like, hey, Our belts are belt, and we just throw these championship belts around, interim belts around, and then we just have Conor McGregor fight Floyd Mayweather. It's almost as if, hey, this is more entertainment than it is sports. And whatever will sell, I will put butts in the seats, whatever makes it interesting. At least have some kind of basic respect for the fighters to where you communicate with them before you strip the belt. Now, I can't say this. On the other side of the coin, I am happy that the division is going to get moving. I've always said that Conor McGregor should not have been allowed to have the two belts in two different divisions because it choked the division up. So I'm happy that the division is moving, and that Max Holloway and Anthony Pettis are gonna fight for the interim title, and then Jose Aldo will be the full unified champion, and then after that, though whoever win that matchup will fight, will go ahead and they'll fight Jose Aldo. So I'm happy that the division is moving again, and we're getting some action there. I'm happy about that. But at the same token, the way that the UFC is treating these fighters and how they're handling everything is almost as if there's absolutely no respect for the sport, for the art of martial arts itself, and for how things should be conducted. So it's like, hey, we do whatever we want whenever we want. These belts are like McDonald's Happy Meal tickets. We just give them out whenever. And it's like you really, really lower the value of the belt. You really, really make it. It's hard to describe. It's like you just really, really. So what's what I'm looking for? You just piss on all these guys' hard work and effort. So if somebody can fight 20-0 and win multiple fights and go undefeated for a very long time, that doesn't matter. You give who you want to give a title shot, and you give them a belt if you feel like, just because you feel like. So that's kind of weird. It's getting weird to me, but either way, UFC 206 has officially become interesting. I am gonna go ahead and buy that pay per view because I know it, since the belt is on the line now, and they're gonna fight more intensely, and I'm gonna love that. So I'm grateful for that. And if Daniel Cormier hadn't got injured, Conor would have still had the belt. That's the only thing that disappointing to me. They only made the decision because Daniel Cormier got injured. They didn't make the decision because it was the right thing to do to keep the division moving. But hey, I can't. I mean, I can't be a sore winner. I can't complain either way. They should have stripped him. They didn't strip him. I have mixed emotions about it. But I'm glad the division is moving. That's my 2 cents from the fight chair. Sorry I made the video so long, but I had to break it down as a fan how I felt about it. All right, guys. Peace out.